Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Manor Road Studio, home of the Alive podcast. I'm Dale, and look who's with me.
Hey, everybody.
That's
I'm
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, and behind Chris is the dream sign. See there? Okay. Hey, lots to talk about today. We had a really good opportunity this morning to visit where Chris does a jail ministry, and I spoke about it a little earlier. But was there about 15 girls? Did I count that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 15 girls that went through the program. These are girls that are incarcerated, and this was an optional program for them. This wasn't something they had to do. So these were 15 people incarcerated, yet they were looking for an opportunity to create hope in their life. And Chris helped navigate them through this 10-week course, and today was what we'll call their graduation, where the girls got to give a 2 or 3 minute testimony of what the program meant to them and possibly what it means for them the rest of their life and where they're going. And Chris, I think the program is called Life's Healing Choices.
Life's Healing Choices.
Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Okay. It's based on the 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And basically all it is a Christ-centered 12-step program.
Okay.
But the focus is not alcohol. The focus is not drugs. The focus is on anything that you may struggle with. For me today, maybe my struggle is emotional eating, or maybe for somebody else it's anger. But so many times throughout our lives, if we give up the drugs or alcohol, though, we're still with ourselves.
Exactly.
And that's where the problems lie. Typically, drugs and alcohol is not the actual problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a symptom.
It's a symptom of the problem.
The problem. But still, drugs and alcohol is not the whole focus on it. Celebrate Recovery gives them a action plan to work through their stuff, to unpack some baggage, and it gives them the ability to live life on life's terms. It gives them skills that they need to live life on life's terms. When you come out of jail, too many times these ladies have not got a good environment to go into.
Right.
And it's going to be tough, but it gives them a 10-week period while they're incarcerated that they can learn to make good judgment when they get out. That way it's not quite as difficult as it was. It gives them a dependence on God, a dependence on themselves, boosts their self-esteem so that they're loving themselves finally instead of hating themselves for choices that they've made.
One of the things, Chris, that stuck out to me is I was listening to these girls give their testimony, and they would all, tell their name and what their struggle with, and so many of them said anger was a problem.
Yeah.
But now, what I just heard you say is anger may not be the actual, it's a symptom of something bigger.
Yes.
How do they identify that something bigger? Or do they identify that something bigger?
They do. We go through a program where we start by we do talk about God in this program and what God can do for them and a dependence upon God and work their way through. And then we talk about things that people that have hurt us or people that we've hurt, and we work through those. And then we decide whether or not this is an appropriate situation to make amends to somebody.
Right.
And sometimes that amends is just living in a different way.
Okay.
If somebody has hurt you, say like someone who molested you as a child, you're not going to go to that person
exactly
and talk to them about that.
You can forgive in your heart, but that doesn't mean you have to approach them. Okay.
And we make amends except when to do so would injure them or others.
Right.
So we don't, there's some things need to be left.
Sure.
Alone. But we work through it in different ways, and we talk about forgiveness, and we talk about what we do on a daily basis to make good choices.
Right.
And why we identify ourselves the way we do. We become over time identifying ourselves as a problem. Well, I'm just angry. That's life. This way.
Or I'm a drug addict. Or I'm this. That becomes our label.
Yes, and that's not our label at all. That's just something that we started with.
That's interesting.
Our label and what we're teaching in those rooms is our label. Our identity is based on the fact that God made us. And that's where we start.
That's powerful. Yeah. If you watched my earlier video, and if you didn't, that's fine. I made a comment that said, if you listen to this podcast long enough, we're going to brainwash you into believing in yourself and believing the impossible to be possible. And you may think, Chris, some of these people listening may go, what does this program have to do with me? Well, I was in the audience today. I had nothing to do with the program. And I was amazed at people who attended this. Mm-hmm. So the point is, for these girls to recover and have a chance, it takes family and community. And it's not something they can totally do on their own. Their desire is there, but it's kind of like when Jesus brings Lazarus out of the tomb and he turns to the crowd and says, unbind that man. It's kind of incumbent upon us. We got to do our part a little bit too. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that stuck to me when Chris talks about life-healing choices and so forth is everything in life is a choice. And I say this all the time. We're products of our past. We do not have to be prisoners to it. And so often in life, when we don't, some of these girls don't have the opportunity, Chris, to change the environment they're going to go back into. They just don't. So when you can't change the environment that made you sick, then we've got to make them stronger. So they can either be strong enough to elevate the environment they were in or be strong enough to eventually find a path out of that environment. And again, the reason I wanted us to podcast this today is because this pertains to all of us. We just might not be incarcerated.
Sure.
We may be prisoners of our environment. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean we're sitting in jail.
Right.
In a way, Chris, and I think I heard the judge or maybe Pastor Marcy say this, these girls actually may have got a break. Now they've had, whether it's 30 days or 1129, to sit and kind of get their life in order a little bit. For some people that are suffering silently, they don't have that opportunity. And I've said before, Chris, behind many smiling faces are wounded souls. So I think we got to assume that everybody has a wound. Mm-hmm. It's just, let's be kind. My goodness, be kind and try to love everybody. If we spent as much time loving people as we do hating people, what a wonderful world it would be. And Chris, now I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. I know this is like your, fourth or fifth time to do this program, or maybe longer than that, I don't know. But maybe not this particular 10-week session, but what did you get out of it?
Ooh, that's tough. Or it's really not tough. I mean, I have a purpose for being there mm-hmm. because of my past and my use of alcohol and even being in
your incarceration.
Yes. I spent 45 days sitting down there at CJC and didn't have programs like this mm-hmm. and didn't have people wanting you to do better and change
right.
and all. But what happens is when you work your recovery and you're doing that on a regular basis, it's then your job to help someone else
right.
recover. And that reminds you too of where you come from.
Exactly.
And keeps you grounded that, well, I'm well now.
Right.
Because that's not. Everybody on this earth has either hurt somebody or has been hurt, and we all struggle with something.
Yeah.
It may not be alcohol, it may not be drugs, but there's something
mm-hmm.
within our lives that we struggle with.
Right. I talked to a gentleman yesterday that was just bitter with life. I don't know why, and I guess it wasn't for me to know, and I did the best I could just to listen and offer encouragement, but I don't know his environment. And again, Chris, the reason I think this topic is so important is because, like she said, we're all suffering with something. And if we can keep awareness out there, goodness, if we can just keep making people aware that sometimes when you have that moment of, you've had all you can take, so you're rude to someone, maybe it wasn't intentional, but that person may have been in a pretty bad place and we just pushed them into a worse place. It should be our goal every day to make the world that's around us a better place to live. And that's really, we talked for probably a year about what this podcast was going to be about. We knew what we wanted to do. We just didn't know what direction to take it. But when I heard that today, that life's healing choices, Life's Healing Choices. Those 3 words, I knew immediately that, okay, that's it. I mean, that's what we're about. Because you've told me before, and again, it didn't resonate till I heard Judge Allen say that everybody suffers from hurts, habits, or hang-ups. All of us do. So Life's Healing Choice, it's a book. I mean, anybody can get the book. And I'm not sitting here, telling you to buy a book. That ain't got nothing to do with it. But the interesting thing is, everything those girls were saying, we all struggle with something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not, like I said, so many times it has nothing to do with drugs, alcohol, or anything else. There's many things that people struggle with that aren't even...
Self-esteem.
Yes. Caring more about somebody else's problems than our own.
Right.
And yes, we should care about other people and we should love them, but when we become, we call it codependent,
Mm-hmm.
And your stuff's more important than my stuff and my emotional well-being, then that's when I'm codependent.
Right.
And there's
so that's tearing you down, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
There's so many, and there's tons, and we'll talk about codependence one day.
Okay.
On the podcast,
Love to.
Because everyone I talk to, when you get into a deep conversation about codependence, they're all like, I didn't realize that's me.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those unspoken things. I don't know why, but it's kind of like a taboo topic, isn't it?
And we like to fix other people.
Yeah.
We want to fix other people.
Right.
We can't fix anybody but ourselves. The only person or the only thing that we can control is us and our actions.
Right.
We can't control. I can't control what you do. I can't control what any of these
Right.
people out here are doing. But I can control the choices that I make and the way that I act.
It's kind of like the old saying goes, I'm the only person I'm going to be with all my life. And the only way I can help somebody else is to make sure that I'm doing the best I can do for me. If I'm unhealthy in anything, I can't help someone else be the best they can be unless I'm at least trying hard to be the best I can be. Any other words of encouragement from the Life's Healing Choices that we saw today? You've been involved in this program for years as far as Celebrate Recovery goes, because I think, do they not use some of that book? They do, right? Okay.
The 8 principles are the same whether you're talking about Celebrate Recovery or you're talking about Life's Healing Choices.
Okay.
Life's Healing Choices is just an abbreviated Celebrate Recovery rather than it taking a year to go through the 8 principles. We're doing a principle a week and bam, flying through. But that gives them a base where when they're released, then they can go to Celebrate Recovery somewhere and keep working on their stuff.
And I've always had the misconception, you've helped correct me many times, that whether it's Celebrate Recovery or whether it's Life's Healing Choices, this is not about alcoholism or drug addiction. This can be anything that weighs enough on us that it's taken us away from being who we are created to be. I don't know if I said that right. But the book is for everybody, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And again, this isn't an advertisement for Life's Healing Choices. It's just
it's just what we
were dealing with today, and it just resonated with me so much, and I got excited about it. And when you see firsthand people that are struggling, and you see firsthand their desires, it kind of makes you sit back and rethink, because these girls are going to get out of jail in the next year or sooner, hopefully. They're going to go back into the world. They're going to go back and see the people that know that they were in jail, know that they were a thief, they were a drug addict, they were whatever they were, and that label, that scarlet letter, is still going to be on them. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to be strong enough to go, you know what? No, that's not who I am. And I don't have to hang around people that pull me down. I'm going to find a new way to hang around people that lift me up. I may have said that again. That may not have defined that real well. But your environment's so important.
It is, and we try to tell these ladies, and they tell the men the same thing. You got to change your people, places, and things you're going to make the same choices a lot of times in the same environment. Now, some people go back into the same environment and they do well.
Right.
Because they're just so set in their mind that this is the
way
it's
going
to be. I've got this. I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to excel and succeed, and I'm going to be a better person. But it's so hard and so challenging when you go back to the same environment that you got sick in. Mm-hmm. And some don't have options because they need to be with their kids.
Right.
And their kids may be with a spouse or a significant other, and that's a toxic relationship. Or they may be at family members' home. You know, they come out of jail, they have no good place to live, they don't have a job, many times they don't have driver's license and all this stuff, and we're expecting them to, get out here and be a productive member of society. Well, it's tough.
It is tough.
It's real tough.
It is tough.
You know, and sometimes they just have to go back to that. There's not options.
Right.
You know,
One of the things that I kind of give this a summation and bring it to a close, but I really liked one of the things I heard today, and I don't care if you live in Los Angeles, Winslow, Arizona, Jackson, Tennessee, or wherever it is, there's resources available, Chris.
there are.
And don't be afraid to reach out. You know, don't be so think that you're so strong that you go, well, I can handle this. I can stop doing this on my own or whatever. Take advantage of the resources that are available in your community, whether it's through your church or whatever it may be. There are people that really want to help, and the quicker you can get help, and it may be that the problem is minor enough that you just need to change something that you're doing in life. Read positive books, listen to good videos, or whatever the case may be. But again, I just want to encourage everybody that there are resources everywhere. When you say every community has something,
there is something, and it may not be the perfect thing, but if people will quit internalizing everything, and if you can't do anything but find one person to share some things with,
right.
That we rise by lifting others.
Exactly.
And if we take time and let somebody unpack their baggage with us, then they can move forward, because guilt and shame and all those things go away when we put it out in the
Absolutely.
when we share it with another human being. And there's no other way to control shame other than sharing.
Well, I'll tell you, and I hope, we've done a few of these podcasts, and we're going to hopefully do a lot more for years to come. And the one thing that you better get through this is that we care. We care. I don't know if anybody in your life is telling you that I love you. Well, we love you. And it's very, very important that you learn to love yourself. And again, I'm going to say it like I said at the beginning. If you watch this podcast long enough, I promise we're going to brainwash you into believing more in yourself than you've ever believed in your life. So tell everybody how to get a hold of Manor Road Studio, because I always forget this part. So the only thing I know to tell you to do is follow Dale Childress on Facebook, send me a message, but that's not what this is about. So tell them how to get hold of them.
All right, Manor Road Studio, MANORRD STUDIO @gmail.com. You can also find Manor Road Studio on our Facebook page.
Is it RD as well?
It is.
Okay.
If you do the / now, in the name, it's actually written out. But if you do like Facebook.com / MANORRD
Gotcha.
ST,
Gotcha.
You can do Manor Road Studio that way. You can get us through email. You can send us Facebook Messenger. You can make a comment on our Facebook page, and you can even
multitude of ways to get a hold of us.
But guys, if you're struggling and you don't need a resource for something, be sure and get in touch with us, because we can get you in touch with the right resources to deal with what you're struggling with. And whether it's grief, it's a chemical dependency, or you're just pissed off.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
If you're having to struggle with it, then we want to provide some kind of resource to help you.
Keep dreaming, folks. Keep watching Manor Road Studio. I'm Dale.
I'm Chris.
That's Chris. We'll see you again soon.
See ya.